Hello and welcome to the Thrifty Hedonist. My name is Allie, and this is a channel that I enjoy talking about living life to the absolute fullest while still on a budget, and doing so by being frugal, thrifty, and a little bit scrappy. In this video, I'm going to talk about what hedonism actually is. I'll talk about how I was first introduced to the topic through a really great resource and what hedonism actually means to me. Hedonism is a philosophical concept that holds happiness and pleasure and enjoyment as the main priority in life. I think hedonism can get a negative view in a society that doesn't really prioritize enjoyment and slowness. Instead, it really pushes that hustle culture and celebrates the overproductivity and excessively being busy. I think it's very evident where our priorities stand when it comes to meeting somebody for the very first time. And at least in the United States, I find that one of the very first questions that gets asked is, what do you do? And as a society, we just know that that person is asking us what we do for work and how we make our income, instead of asking us what we enjoy doing, what our favorite activities are, or things that we're passionate about. Instead, as a society, we really tend to put value on what we do for work rather than what we do in our free time and for enjoyment. So because of this, I think hedonism can be seen as a person being lazy or selfish when they are prioritizing their own happiness. To be fair, I do think there's a side of hedonism that can definitely be overindulgent and seeking that instant gratification that just is almost never ending. So if there is somebody who is seeking pleasure above all else, it might look like constant vacations and shopping sprees and, things that look really great on the surface, but isn't actually seeking true happiness. And it's this never-ending momentary happiness. And while celebrity level lifestyle sounds great in theory, I think it is incredibly unattainable for most people. And that's why I really loved when I first heard the concept of frugal hedonism, when I had first listened to the audiobook, The Art of Frugal Hedonism by Annie Racer Rowland and Adam Grubb. They are a couple, and I got to listen to the audiobook, which I really loved because it was in her voice and it was so entertaining, and not just because she has a really great Australian accent, but the content was so great and it really dipped my toes into what it could mean to live a frugal hedonistic life. Hello, it is future Al and clearly bus driver Al butting in here because I realized during the editing process that I had not shared the resources on how you can access this really amazing book, and I wanted to be sure to do that. So of course, first and foremost, always check your local library. That's the best way and the most frugal way to access resources like that. The app Libby is super great because it can help you have access to your entire county's worth of books. Spotify has the audiobook, which is where I listen to it. If you have the premium subscription, you can check that out. Otherwise, I did notice that the ebook is on the app Fable, which is the new and improved, much better version of Goodreads. And I'm going to put a link down below that if you are new to Fable, you can get a $5 credit towards an ebook. So feel free to give that a try. Fable is so cool. This is not sponsored. I'm just super excited about it. And I didn't know this before, but Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and I try my very hardest to boycott Amazon at all costs. So I hope you'll do the same with me. Before you shop at Amazon, check your local bookstore for the book, whatever it takes, but let's just try to avoid Amazon. In my next video, I plan to talk about baby steps that you can take to lean into the thrifty hedonist lifestyle. So if that's of interest to you, please subscribe so that you get to see my future content, and give this video a thumbs up if you consider yourself a hedonist or are looking to in the future. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, be well and be thrifty. Bye!